Homeschooling Grammy, and I am coming at you today with another collab, and this one is called 5 Tips for a Bad Homeschool Day, and yes, you will have one. Mark my word, you will have one. Anyways, I have my notes today because I'm just like this scatterbrain lately. I don't know. Anyways, this collab is being hosted by April over at The Simple Rugged Path. It is also being hosted by Lee over at Creative 2-Time Mom and Marie over at Crazy Busy Fit Mom. So if this is something you're interested in, stick around. There will be links in the playlist to all of these great ladies' channels, and there will also be a link to, what did I just say? I have no idea. Anyways, there's going to be a link to the playlist in my description box. There's going to be a link to each of their channels also in the description box. So if you're ready, stick around. Hopefully we'll get through this painlessly. Okay, ladies, tip number 1. Don't beat yourself up over having a bad day. Whether it's you or it's your kids or a combination thereof. We all have bad days. It's not worth beating yourself up over it. It's just the way it goes. That's just life. We're all human. None of us are perfect. Somebody tells you they're perfect. Maybe they're Jesus. Because you know what? They're not perfect. Unless you're Jesus, you're not perfect. So anyways, yeah, don't beat yourself up about it. It's okay. It's okay to have a bad day. Give yourself permission. Tip number 2. Take a time out. I don't mean the kids either. I mean you. Seriously, I do it. I give myself a time out. It's my favorite thing to do sometimes. I do. I leave the room. I'll just say to my grandchild, you know what? I'm out of here. Like, I'm going to take a time out so that there's no bloodshed. No, not really. But, you know, I take a time out and I go in the other room and she stays here. She can either continue working on what she's working on, or if it's something she can't work on by herself, then I give her something else to do that she can work on, or she can draw, or whatever. But she's not allowed to follow me because it's my time out. I'd even put myself in the corner if I thought I could get away with it. Yeah, but yeah, give yourself a time out. It's good for you, it's good for them, and it allows everybody to regroup and hopefully move on with better attitude. I'm going to add a little disclaimer to number 2. Lots of times I'll go and pray because I really need to. Yeah. So anyways, number 3, tip number 3, call it a wash. It's okay. So you know what? We are done with school for today. I've had enough. Yeah. So yeah, call it a wash. Sometimes we just all need to do that. Sometimes we need a break. We need a break from the mundane. We need a break from each other. We need a break from whatever. You just need a break. And it's okay to call it a wash call a wash on the school day. It's okay. It's not that big a deal. There are plenty of days left in the year. You know, it's not life or death. That's why we homeschool. Our schedule is our schedule. It's not somebody else's schedule. It doesn't matter. There's no getting behind because it's your schedule and it's okay. Yeah, I mean, sometimes we go for a walk, sometimes we watch a video, sometimes we go on a field trip, or sometimes we read a book or veg out. Do whatever. Call it a wash. It's okay. Sometimes, you know, we run a lot and we do a lot and we have a lot going on in our lives, and it's okay to sometimes just say, okay, I'm taking a break. Okay, on to tip number 4. Try to do things ahead of time. In other words, be prepared so that there's no chaos ensuing. You know, if we have planned ahead of time, a lot of times it will keep chaos from happening. It will keep our school day from going in the wrong direction. So sometimes it is on us. I mean, you know, it can be kid attitudes or whatever, but it also can be on us because we weren't prepared for the day. And sometimes, you know, we all have bad days. We're not always prepared, but if you can prepare somewhat before your day gets started, prayer, work ready, breakfast is all ready, whatever. Just take that time to prepare ahead of time and forego a lot of nonsense sometimes. Okay, so tip number 5. Now, tip number 5, I mean, not everybody is going to be able to do tip number 5. Because some of you all are single parents and you're doing it alone. So, but if you're not a single parent, or maybe you even have a mom or a dad or an aunt or an uncle or somebody or anybody could qualify, doesn't matter, right? If you're able to, and it's just, you know, chaos is ensuing, it's really becoming a bad day, pull in your husband if he's home. Yep. Pull him on in here. Say, come on, honey. Come on in, because you're taking over. And I'm out. I'll take it a sick day or whatever, a mental health day. So sometimes that whole change in teaching style, a different person, a different approach, can change the whole school day for your kids. Because maybe you're grouchy that day, or you don't feel good that day, or whatever the case may be, and your husband or wife or whatever the case may be, or whoever you decide to take over your school day, you know, is more relaxed and more chilled out, or whatever the case may be, and they're able to handle the situations a little bit better for that day, and they have a different teaching style, and maybe they will, what do I want to say? Maybe they'll kind of gel differently with the kids, and maybe get through on some concepts that you have been unable to do because they have a different perspective or a different way of doing something. All of those things can be extremely helpful. My husband does do lessons on some days, and it's nice. Like, I totally like it when he takes over sometimes, and my grandchild likes it too, and it really works out for the best all the way around. So yep, that's number 5. Okay, everyone, there's your 5 tips for a bad homeschool day. Thanks so much for joining in and watching this collab. There's going to be a whole bunch of other homeschool mamas that are going to be joining in on this collab. Make sure that you check out the playlist down in my description box. Also, make sure that you can check out April, Lee, and Marie's channels. They will also be in the description box. And thanks so much for sticking around.